It's time to pour it up with Pope after dark.
Well, folk, here is our test run for Pope After Dark. It's your boy E Beezy. You know who it be from the jump, from the get-go. I have to do this. We brought it up. We talked about it. Some of you have already hit me up in my inbox, Instagram, Facebook, the more Pope. One of you said, I need this in my life. Somebody said, Pope, do it. I am with you 100%. Another wrote, ain't no way I am missing it if you go dark, Pope. That was a nice way of saying Pope After Dark. And another person said, yo, what are you waiting for? So here we are. The little beta run, if you will, of Pope After Dark. Water has been put aside. And now your Pope drinks his wine. Because we're going to talk about some real stuff here, okay? Now, a lot of things I want to tell you in which Pope will discuss. What I'm going to talk about here is just real life situations. Don't come in here looking for a format as you would normally do on Pope's Point of View. This is just straight from the chit-chatter, from the heart, as always. But from a more so non-wrestling standpoint, obviously, of things. For instance, yours truly talked to you guys on part 1 episode of that ECW podcast that I did involving Heatwave. I told some of you that I had to go get a cup of coffee and I had my pajamas on as I was recording late, which kind of prompted this whole thing. And I went to get my coffee and the person behind the counter wasn't wearing a mask. And they ended up, did y'all hear me do my Trump? I'll be the best president this country has ever had. Ever. Anyways, so yeah. So I go and I get my coffee and the individual gives me the coffee and I say thank you, homie, sir, or whatever it was I said. Thanks, man. That's what I said. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Didn't even charge me. I don't know what it is, what he saw, or what she saw, but I'm pretty sure it was a him. At that moment in time, because I had on a mask too. Pope had his mask on. There's a mandate here in Florida that says that we have to have our mask on when entering into public places of business. So, I have a mask on, but then again, I have my pajamas on. Pope had his pajamas on, and I'm thinking, well, you ain't got nothing else on underneath. And so maybe, just maybe, that individual saw something that shook him or her, or saw something that was shaking on me. Nonetheless, Pope got a free cup of coffee, and if all I got to do is shake to and fro, then daddy count me in every day I go. Count me in. But on a lesser note of hilarity and a more note of seriousness, I went back to that Wawa a day or two after talking to you guys on Pope's Point of View. And when I got to that Wawa here in Jacksonville, Florida, a young Nubian princess was lying on the ground from a gunshot wound to her neck. There's ice cream on the ground. There's M&M's, Reese's Pieces. This is right at the stroke of midnight, might I add. And there's nothing but screaming, chaos, and everything else taking place as I had just pulled up right when a shot was fired and witnessed a murder. Words was being exchanged between a group of girls and another woman with a woman. And apparently, throughout this confrontation, the woman with a woman pulled out her gun and shot the girl in whom she was having a confrontation with in the neck. And this girl was 16 years old. Think about that. Now, I'm going to say some stuff here. Again, this is Pope After Dark. Whether you're with me or not, I'm going to speak my truth. So if you're going to back me up, you back me up. If you don't, I could care less. But I'm sitting here or standing here at the time of this murder. This girl is not moving. She's shot straight in her Adam's apple. And you have individuals that are down here trying to save her, some emergency crew that was other than the actual paramedics. I don't know if you guys saw this on the news or not, but they're trying to help, and I'm standing there and I'm trying to keep the mother who is pregnant calm. Yes, the girl's mother was there as well. My question to all of you in the podcast listening land, my one question that I would like to ask is, what do you have to prove? Think about that. What do you have to prove? Here you got a 16-year-old girl going at it with a grown woman who's surrounded by her mother and her cousins and friends. And instead of someone getting her into the car, telling her to shut her mouth and walk away, there was something apparently that she and others felt they had to prove. We are not living in the 1980s or 90s anymore. We are not living in a society where fists are the chosen weapons for battle. They're not the weapons of choice anymore. 16 years old, shot dead, laying on the ground in front of me. What do you have to prove? Walk away. Because if you don't walk away, you're going to be carried away. There's nothing to prove. Nonetheless, the young lady that shot her stayed there and waited to be arrested. She didn't run. The mother, who is pregnant, seemed to be on the verge of having a miscarriage, and I'm just trying to calm her down because that's her daughter, and yet she's pregnant at the same time with another. So I just want to tell you guys that when you're faced with those type of situations, there's nothing that you have to prove. All you have to prove is that your life, if anything, if you have anything to prove that your life is more important than winning a war of words that will escalate into something more. And then we talk about this Black Lives Matter. How can we, to my black folk that are listening, how can we encourage others to understand and see the purpose behind the Black Lives Matter movement? Oh, I told y'all, this is Pope After Dark. This ain't no Pope's point of view. This is just a little beta right here. But how can we get others to understand the purpose of Black Lives Matter if it don't matter to the black lives that are protesting the very issue? It appears that it says, for lack of better terms, in small fine print, Black Lives Matter except when it's black on black crime. We get a pass. Nobody's coming to march for that. There's no uproar when a young black man pulls out a gun at Coney Island in Detroit at the restaurant and shoots 4 people as they wait for their order, killing 3 of them, 1 critically injured. You're darn right. Anybody that's not for the Black Lives Matter movement is going to make a mockery of it. You're darn right they're going to point fingers and laugh because we're being counterproductive to the purpose itself. I won't go into any further details because I feel like I've started this off on the wrong point, but I'm just going off of Pope's own mind here, the thoughts and issues that I wanted to discuss on Pope After Dark. We going dark, Daddy. But let there be known, there is no darkness without some light. And here's a little bit of light that I can shed on a dark situation, and that's the fact that your boy Kanye West, another Black Lives Matter issue in Pope's opinion, here he is having episodic breakdowns and as they say, biopolarism and all that other type of stuff, what's going on, and he's running for president and whatever the case may be. Let's not get this thing twisted, folk. What Kanye is doing is a systematic, orchestrated Donald Trump partnership movement to take the black vote away from Joe Biden. You couldn't convince me any otherwise, and that's if he actually gets on the ticket, because Trump is panicking at this very moment in time. The coronavirus is running rampant across the United States of America. Joe Biden, his approval rating for possible presidency is through the roof, and Trump's is continuing to fall. So the polls are showing that Trump is desperate. He's panicking, and I'm sure that he's met with Kanye West, or they've talked, and Kanye is trying to do what he can to take the black vote away from Joe Biden. If he could put a dent in it to help Donald Trump, then that's what he's going to do. I'm not buying into all this bipolarism and all that stuff that's being used as an excuse. If you choose to follow that, I mean, not that it matters because I don't really care, but if you choose to follow that, then that's you. But please don't buy into the foolishness that is Kanye West. He wouldn't have a chance of freaking becoming president of the United States of America much like Balls Mahoney wouldn't have a chance of becoming president of the WWE. I mean, good grief. Why I always got to talk about Balls Mahoney? Because that's my boy. That's my homie. You know? That's my, you know what I'm saying? I love Balls. Check this out. So, a lot of you know, I talked about Mama Pope and some of the issues that have we've recently endured with her house and the flood that took place. I talked about that on Pope's Point of View. And it's an ongoing process, but I had to do some soul searching, and Pope had to break away. Yes, y'all know me as Pope from, you know, my time in professional wrestling, but being that Pope is pimping outside of professional wrestling, Pope is praying. And that's the type of individual that I am. And I believe in the power of prayer. And so in the midst of me being Pope outside and away from television monitors or a wrestling ring, I'm driving down the street, leaving Mama Pope's house, and I see something that looks all too familiar to Pope just rolling in the wind. What would that be? What is that? I don't know, but I'm going to find out, because Pope pulls to the side of the road, hops out of the car, and I stand there as if I'm in my phone for a second before reaching down and picking up that which was floating and being tossed and turned and driven and rolling in the wind. And that happened to be a nice, albeit balled up, crisp $20 bill. That's the Benjamin, right? No, that's not Benjamin. He's like, oh, Andrew. I say, come here, Andrew. I said, Andrew. Drew. I said, Drew. Come here, Drew. And I picked him up. I put him in Pope's pocket. And I got back in my car. I put my hands on the handlebar and I drove my car down the street. But before Pope could even get, before I could even get, I'd say 30 feet, I happened to look up in the rearview mirror. And I'm seeing this Hispanic couple, you know, the guy specifically patting his pockets and walking back out to the curb side of the street. I see what I assume to be his woman looking in the grass. And I'm seeing this in my rearview mirror as I'm driving off. And again, I told y'all Pope be praying, so I'm in the moment right now. I'm in the moment. And I go, oh my gosh. So I turn around and I go back past them, and I clearly see that they're looking for something, and I kind of know what they're looking for. So Pope makes another U-turn again and come back their way. And I go, hey, roll my window down. I say, hey, man. I said, what you looking for? He said, oh, no, I'm not looking. I said, what you looking for? He said, I'm looking for $50. Why? I said, $50. Well, I ain't seen no $50, but I said, here go 20 that I found. And oh man, amigo, man, you the man. I appreciate it, amigo. You know, good stuff, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. And he was satisfied with this lottery ticket in his hand. Now, if this be it the old Pope, if this be it the Pope that you've become accustomed to knowing over the years via television, I may have looked up in my rearview mirror and saw them, but I guarantee you I would have kept driving. The old saying goes, finders keepers. Losers weepers. But no, I just couldn't do it. I trust. I'm one who believes in paying it forward. So I trust that, you reap what you sow. So I believe that if the situation happens to me, I trust that I'd have that same fortune where someone would do me the same honor. Hopefully that guy pays it forward, Hopefully he pays it forward. Now, if I hadn't saw anybody, then that would have been a different story. But I had to turn back. I had to go back because I saw them. This was a totally different situation from the time when I was working with JSO and I was heading to work. And I'm on the expressway, I-95. And while I'm on my way to work and I'm listening to Pope's music, all of a sudden, something hit my windshield. I remember I told you before I got that $20 and I saw it, I said it was an all too familiar sight. So here I am driving to work and all of a sudden something hit my windshield. And just, I said, whoa, because it was so quick. And I'm going, wait a minute. That, I could have sworn I saw something hit my windshield again. So all of a sudden, as I'm coming around the bend, I see people out their car pulling to the side, got their emergency blinkers on. Oh, yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. I kid you not. 1998. 1998-99. I'll say it like that. I'm on the expressway going to work, and there is literally money falling from the sky. And I'm not talking about $1 bills. There wasn't a dollar bill to be found. I don't know what happened. I don't know who took an armored truck and put it up in the sky and opened the door. I don't know. What I do know is I got out my car in uniform. I was in uniform. And all of a sudden, a 20 come rolling up and a 50 is rolling. Dude, by the time I was done, I had at least almost $350. I mean, I still had to get to work. I didn't want to get rolled up for being a minute late because they were so anal about being on time. You could be 30 seconds late and they'll write you up. So I didn't want to be late, but I think I got close or a little over $300. Now that is something you can go ahead and go on with because that's unmarked money, unclaimed money. And so to each his own, get what you can get, grab what you can grab, and go on about your day. And that's exactly, as the Sheik would say, exactly, intelligent you. That's exactly what Pope did. Hey, I'm going to take a quick break right here. I know this Pope After Dark. I'll be right back because we're about to talk about something that's really dark. That's right. I'm going to touch on this whole Will, Jada, and August stuff as soon as I come back. Okay, so here we go. It is time for us to talk about, seriously. Okay, let Pope fill his glass because this... Okay, that's that. We're going to talk about this thing. Because right here, we on Pope's Point not Pope's Point, but we are Pope After Dark right now. And being that this is Pope After Dark, y'all got to excuse me. I got in a little bit of an entanglement right there with my words, but someone else got in a little entanglement of her own. If you let her tell it. Now, look, let's be real about this, okay? Let's be real about this. Old Fish Mooney, Y'all, come on now. I know y'all saw doggone Gotham. Fish Mooney, Jada Pinkett. So old Fish, she gonna try to spin her own narrative about this whole situation, much to her right, might I add. She can do that. She don't wear white hats. Shh. She don't claim to be a nice gal. Shh. That's my Arn Anderson 1999 wasn't when he did the we don't wear nice hats. Shh. We don't claim to be nice guys. Shh. But anyways, I'm just totally disgusted by not the issue at hand, believe it or not. I am not upset that Jada Pinkett-Smith, at 51 years old, as hot as she is, because if I had a chance of wearing my jammy in her mammy, I would do the same thing too. With or without Will Smith's permission. Give me a chance to put my corkscrew in your doggone cork and watch what happened, Jada. I've always been a fan of Jada. I've been a huge fan. Love me some Jada. Love me some Jada so much I throw my sister out of a moving front passenger seat just to put her in. Nonetheless, 51 years old. Come talk to me, Jada. 51, and here she is rocking the freaking boat. Y'all remember that Aaliyah song? Rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat. Change positions, change position, change. Now stroke it, baby, stroke it, baby, stroke it for me, stroke it for... Ooh, that's old Aaliyah, rest her soul. Love me some Aaliyah. But, Jada, gosh, every time I say it, my blood gets to flowing a little bit harder. Jada, let me stop before this thing get carried up. Y'all gonna have to give me a second here. Whew. But Jada, here she is, 51 years old. And she is putting it on. Now, y'all gonna have to follow me with this. She is putting it on, August. How do I know she's putting it on, August? Because when you've got some matured coochie that good, when you got that matured cooter and it's that good, it drives you to do things that you never thought you would do. Inasmuch so it causes you to betray someone whom you said you'd never betray because that cooter, it was that good. She put it on, August. For him to do a tell-all interview the way he did and talk about how hurt he was, this, that, and the other. Negro, let me tell you something. Okay, if Will Smith had gave me his permission and blessings to tear that doggone cougar up, I would have been doggone smashing it like my mom does with her sweet potatoes before she put it in the doggone oven in the pie crust. I mean, hell to the yeah. Y'all, let me stop. I just got, I don't know. Look. Jeez. Oh boy, I better put this on because I'm telling you, this is something serious here. So August, he goes and does a tell-all interview. He gonna just spill the beans because he's what we call coochie whipped. Jada put it on him so good, he became coochie whipped. Huh? You sure what I'm saying? Listen to me. He wants that today. He wants that today, knowing that he can no longer have it. But if he could, he'd go crawling back to it right now like a doggone baby elephant trying to get under the mother in the Sahara Desert. He would go crawling back to Jada with his head between the legs like said elephant. Because he wants that. Jada, that experience, that matured Cuda, and every other move that she may and may not have put on him, he wants to experience that even the more. And because he wasn't getting it no more, it's a hard thing to let go of. Have you ever been in love? I know I have. Inasmuch so the Pope had to end an 8-year relationship. And it was hard to let go of. I had to sleep with a pillow. I'll never forget it. I had to hold on to it. But sometimes in this situation, that being Pope's, I had to do what was best for me. And I had to cut off the fat that was on the edge of my doggone oxtails. I got to keep the leanness, and that's the part that's going to keep me healthy, and anything unhealthy, I don't want no part of. But I still got love for you, Sierra.
Labor Day weekend. Picnics and parades. Families and festivals. Gatherings and get-togethers. Sounds like a great weekend, huh? So why ruin it by getting behind the wheel, buzzed or blitzed, tanked or tipsy, hammered or high? If you're getting even a little impaired, plan a ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Nonetheless, what I want to really bring attention to about this whole August and Jada Pinkett-Smith issue is this. Jada don't come out of this looking bad. August does not come out of this looking bad. The person that came out of this situation looking the worst and looking like a straight up wimp and a punk and everything else that you can use to describe a man that does not have a set of balls the size of Vince McMahon's himself, that is Will Smith. Will Smith, in this so-called let us get ahead and address the situation so that we can put our own narrative and spin on it, he came out of this look. I have lost so much respect for Will. Here I am, and I respect the man, and I look up to the man. But can I be honest? Can we have a moment? Can I just say that he just really went down a couple of notches? Can I say that? I mean, Will Smith dropped down the totem pole when it came to being a doggone man. You really sat there and decided to go through with this. Oh yeah, well yeah, we were separated, weren't we? Yeah, I said you were gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my my own thing, and we just try to find ourselves. Bullshimmy, Will. Bullshimmy. Around here letting that woman control you like that. And that's the best that you can come up with to fix the narrative, to make you come out of it in your own estimation looking a little bit better because all this has happened now. And the man said that it was with your blessing, which we all know it was because we've seen you and your family with August being so happy. So you knew what was going on. Let's not get it twisted here. Let's not try to pull the wool over our eyes like WWE did with the extreme horror show that they called Extreme Rules. Who you trying to fool? We know what's going on. Yeah, we know you gave that guy permission because he wouldn't have been standing under your roof and hitting her at the same time. And by hitting it, folks, I'm not talking about physically striking somebody. I'm talking about physically pounding somebody. Y'all done got me hot talking about this mess. And I'm the one brought it up. But again, it hurt me to have to witness that little red table talk. Well, let's have a black table talk. Ain't no black man in his right mind gonna let a black woman or any other woman, regardless of her ethnicity, and man at that, but certainly not a black man that's gonna let a woman sit there and say that we had an entanglement unless it was agreed upon. And I truly believe that y'all are swingers. I truly believe Will's doing his own thing and you doing yours, Jada. It's okay. It is what it is. All of y'all are free. I didn't say freaks. I said free. Others may say freaks. I'll reserve my opinion. But I know all of you are free. Your son's around here. He's doing modeling for the women magazines. That's free. Your daughter shaves her hair, colors her hair, do this, do that. She's free. The rumors of Will being in the hotel with other guy that I don't want to bring into this, that's free. Do what you do. But don't try to cover it up because you've been free, Jada. And putting it on that young 27-year-old boy who don't know what to do when he got some of Sweet Mama's pie for the first doggone time because all he's ever done was smell it out of the doggone window pane. And now that he's walked inside, snatched it off the window pane and stuck his face inside of it, he don't know what to do. You can't do that, Jada. You can't do that. Oh, Lord. Have mercy. That was... Oh, help me. Can you imagine? Young Elijah Burke coming to the developmental system of Ohio Valley Wrestling for the first time, and I remember Ivory being there, and she was just so hot, such a cougar. Can you imagine what would have happened if I would have got my hands on Ivory? I'll tell you what would have happened. Probably got fired and locked up. Yep. Oh, man. But that's what happens. That's the way it always goes in our type of situations. But hey, folks, that's my time here. Pope After Dark. I just wanted to give you a little bit of what would happen if we decide to go forward with this little project that you, the listeners of Pope's Point of View, have been asking for. So again, if you are down with this, keep the comments coming. Listen to this, share this, get somebody to listen. I will be looking at it myself. We'll be checking out the views, seeing the response to this podcast. And then you can also hit your boy up at The Black Pope on Twitter, at The Black Pope on Instagram, and of course Elijah Burke on Facebook. And hey man, if I get a good response to this episode, then we're going to go ahead and put it in the works for a late winter debut, Pope After Dark, and we'll be doing this, hey, once a week, man, you know, and this is just going to be Pope talking some real talk aside from the wrestling talk. All right, so until then, folk, until next time, if there'll be a next time, I want you guys to always remember that without darkness, there cannot be no light. So be sure to let your light shine during these uncertain times.
is calling. Make it your own at home with new and exclusive decor, on-trend florals, and fresh project ideas from Michaels. Visit Michaels.com to find a store near you.
Labor Day weekend. Picnics and parades. Families and festivals. Gatherings and get-togethers. Sounds like a great weekend, huh? So why ruin it by getting behind the wheel, buzzed or blitzed, tanked or tipsy, hammered or high? If you're getting even a little impaired, plan a ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over.